In 1984, NBC made a big splash with a comeback vehicle for a well-loved TV star from the past. When The Cosby Show shot up to number 1, the other networks started looking to see if they could recreate NBC's success. Mega producer Aaron Spelling, who had created hits like Charlie's Angels, The Love Boat, and Dynasty for ABC, had an idea. If you're going to offer a comeback to an old, well-loved star, why not the most well-loved of all time? If anyone could be considered the queen of television, it was Lucille Ball. An actress, comedian, and one-time studio head, Ball basically invented the modern sitcom with her first husband, Desi Arnaz. Between 1951 and 1974, Lucy starred in 3 sitcoms and 1 hour-long comedy variety show, almost never leaving the top 10. To Spelling and ABC, it made perfect sense to bring her back to appeal to a whole new generation that had grown up watching her reruns. ABC bought the show sight unseen, without a pilot or even a script, and wholeheartedly went into promoting Lucy's return to the airwaves. Things went wrong almost from the beginning. Spelling at ABC wanted to hire Larry Gelbart to create the show. Gelbart was a bit of a television institution himself, having written for Sid Caesar and created and produced the TV show MASH back in the 1970s. But Lucy, whose contract promised her total creative control, had other ideas. She hired Madeline Davis and Bob Carroll Jr., who had not only written for all of her sitcoms in the past, they had also written for My Favorite Husband, the radio show that would eventually become I Love Lucy. Lucy also insisted on hiring her longtime co-star Gail Gordon. The 80-year-old Gordon, who had appeared on The Lucy Show and Here's Lucy, and reportedly had turned down the role of Fred Mertz on I Love Lucy, could only be lured out of retirement by paying him for a full 22-episode season up front before production ever began. Life with Lucy premiered on September 20th, 1986. From the opening notes of the theme song sung by Edie Gourmet, it was obvious that the new Lucy show was essentially the same as the old Lucy shows. Davis and Carroll continued the formula that they thought had made the original shows a success. Lots of visual and physical comedy. And they even tried reviving the classic Lucy trope of an episode where she meets a famous star and loses control.
Ah! Oh, Mrs. B, is that who I think it is?
Did I miss the picnic?
Do you know who that is? It's John Ritter.
Who?
Three's Company?
I thought the expression was two's company, three's... Oh, Three's Company. John Ritter!
The first episode won its time slot and broke the top 30 shows of the week, coming in at number 23. But as weeks went on, the numbers dropped quickly. Where The Cosby Show had been hip and modern, Life with Lucy was essentially a 1960s sitcom being produced in the late 80s. And on top of which, Davis and Carroll were still writing physical bits as if Lucy was a 40-year-old woman and not the matron of 75 that she had become. The reviews were horrible, the ratings were terrible, and Lucy took it personally.
The living legend herself, Miss Lucille Ball. Congratulations.
Life with Lucy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Are you thrilled to be working again?
Well, yes, no doubt about that. I'm thrilled to be working, but I didn't have any idea that I would get chastised for working.
Which means?
I got some lousy notices, if you'll excuse the word notices, for coming back to work at all, which I thought was very strange.
That's very stupid.
Well,
I mean,
I don't know the people that wrote them, but I was so amazed. I can take critique, about the show, and I've done that for years, but to be critiqued for coming back at all.
But don't you think
that threw me? I cried. My God, I cried.
But No. But don't you think?
On top of it all, while Life with Lucy was using the same formula as the other Lucy sitcoms, something was missing.
Starring Lucille Ball. Co-starring Vivian Vance.
Lucy's longtime comic partner and frenemy, Vivian Vance, died in 1979, and even with Gail Gordon in the cast, there was no one who had that kind of chemistry with Lucy. In a desperate attempt to retool the show, Spelling brought on Honeymooners star Audrey Meadows as Lucy's sister in a role that normally would have gone to Vivian Vance. The two hit it off, and Spelling offered Meadows a co-starring role in the show's second season, basically reinventing the show as a cross between The Lucy Show and The Golden Girls. Meadows turned Spelling down, but it didn't really matter because the episode in which she appeared turned out to be the show's last. On November 17th, ABC bought out Lucy's contract and the show was canceled. Lucy never really recovered from the cancellation. It was the first time that one of her shows had been canceled instead of ending when she thought it should, and she took it as a personal insult. She never again took on a television or film project and made very few public appearances afterward. It was a sad end to a brilliant career. Lucille Ball died 3 years later, leaving behind a legacy of 240 hours of television genius and 7 hours of Life with Lucy.
Every day I'm loving, living more and more and more. And every day is better than. Keep on saying yes I can. And every day is better than.